What's up, guys? JoeySalads here, and this is my school photo from 3 years ago. I was junior in high school at the time, and I'm here right now to tell you my whole story that not many people know about. I'm hoping that this story will help inspire you guys to get through difficult times in your life and help motivate you to do things you wanted to do. So, picture me, a 16-year-old sophomore in high school playing football, normal, weighed about 170 pounds, and towards mid-sophomore year, I go to the doctors for like a normal physical routine. My doctor goes, alright, we're going to do your blood work, we're going to do everything, we're going to test for everything. So he tests for everything. Comes back, the results, and my liver enzymes are high, which is bad. The doctor thought I had mono, so I was treated for mono. Turns out I didn't have mono, and for a whole year, between going to all different doctors trying to figure out what's wrong with me, they couldn't figure it out, so they're like, alright, you need to go for a liver biopsy. Which means they stick a needle into your liver, and they pull out a piece of your liver, and they study it to see what's wrong. So I went to this place in the city, and they're like, okay, we're going to do the liver biopsy. They did it. Comes out, they're like, okay, we think we know what it is, but we don't know what it is. So I'm like, alright, so that's not a good thing. So they give me medicine to treat what they think it is, and the medicine was helping my liver rejuvenate itself until they figured out what was officially wrong with me. So now I'm like 17 years old, I think. I'm playing Madden. I think I remember the date. I think it was like September 9th or September 10th. And I'm playing Madden against my friend. And I'm kicking his ass. I was always better than him at Madden. And I get a call from my dad saying, he's like, yeah, the doctors don't know what's wrong. We're going to have to check you into the hospital to figure out what's wrong. I remember that moment. I was playing the game. I was just like, fuck. I was playing the game, and I started to lose. And my friend Steve's like, oh, yeah, I'm beating you. I'm like, Steve, I got to go to the hospital. He's like, what? I go, yeah, yo, I don't know when I'm going to be back. And he's like, oh, shit. So I go home. I get in the car. I go to the hospital. They check me in. They put the IV in. They set me up for, like, a whole bunch of tests, CAT scans, another liver biopsy, blood tests. So I'm there for, like, I think a week. And they started putting the medicine through my veins instead of giving me the pills like I was taking. And just being in bed for that whole week with the medicine they were giving me, and the medicine is what fucked me up and made me look like this. So I went from weighing like 170 pounds to like 250 pounds in like a week. So I went in for the other liver biopsy, and it came back, they're like, okay, we know what it is. It's autoimmune hepatitis, which is an autoimmune disorder in the liver, which means your immune system, which helps fight off diseases, is attacking the liver. So my own body was attacking my liver. So they had to give me medicine for that, and at one point I was taking about like 15 pills a day. For that whole summer, I was in my bed. I couldn't even move. My knees were swollen. My ankles were swollen. And comes time when football season's starting, junior year, and I looked in the mirror, and when I got out of the hospital, I looked in the mirror and I looked like this. And I didn't even recognize myself. I was like, fuck. It was just the most depressing thing, like, when you can't even recognize yourself. And I go into football, and I'm like, I haven't seen these kids all summer because I was sick. I go, like, no one's going to know who I am. So I walk in the first day, there's like 100 kids in the weight room, and and nobody recognizes me. And I go right to the coach. I go, "Coach, you probably don't recognize me, but it's Salads." And he was like, "No." He goes, what happened to you?" And I'm like, "I got sick." He's like, "Oh my God." I go, "I'm not going to be able to play this season." He's like, "Salads, I want you to be part of the team." He goes, "I want you to come to every practice. I want you to be part of everything. Working so hard, and now this." I'm like, "I know. I was looking forward to playing." And he's like, I'm like, "I'm going to hang around." He's like, "All right, good. Just stay here." And I came to about the first week or two of practices because I couldn't really walk. I was like limping around because my knees were so swollen and I gained so much weight so quick, my body wasn't used to it. So I started eating a lot because I can't move. I just started eating and eating. I was eating like 2-3 bags of popcorn a day. It was awesome, but at the same time, it was bad. And luckily the medicine started to work. So one day I said to myself, I can't keep going like this. I look in the mirror, I'm like, I gotta do something. So I started slowly, even with my swollen knees, I started taking my dogs for walks every day. I started slowly going to the gym, doing whatever I could possibly do. And throughout months and months and months, I was like, I gotta keep doing this. Sitting around in my house isn't gonna do anything. I gotta do something. I gotta take it head on. I go, feeling sorry for myself and sitting in bed and eating all day is not gonna help at all. So when my knees got better, I started riding my bike every single day. I used to get home from school every day. I would go from one end of Staten Island to back to my house, and I would just go back and forth for like hours. And all my friends coming home from school, they would be honking at me because they would be seeing me riding my bike. But I knew I was doing something. I knew I was making progress. And I started eating right. I started eating low fat everything. I cut salt out of my diet. I cut sugars, most sugars. I still eat cookies every now and then, but I stopped drinking all types of sodas. I pretty much stopped eating Chinese food, fast food. Eating was half the battle. And another thing I learned when I was in the hospital, I looked at myself, I was like, wow, this is bad. But then I looked down the hall, and people had it worse. There were little kids going in quarantine rooms, and, like, kids in wheelchairs. I'm like, I go, what I have is nothing compared to that. So I looked at that, and I was like, it could always be worse. So that's another thing that motivated me. So I think it took me about from these class pitches to next year's pitches until I fully looked like this and lost everything. I went from 170 pounds to 250 pounds, back down to 180 pounds. So I'm proud of that, So now I'm hoping that you'll hear my story on how hard I worked for over a year, pushing myself back to health, working out every day. I'm hoping this inspires you to get out there, do something. You don't like something about yourself, you fix it. You got to grab the bull by the horns, never give up, and work for it, because anything is possible. And to always be happy. Always put a smile on your face. Always. Even when I looked like this, I always had a smile on my face because I knew I wasn't going to look like this forever. I knew I was changing. And I remember my grandma would always say to you, even with all you're going through, you're still smiling, you're still happy. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, the only way that you do is you got to stay positive. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, guys.